Okay, so real quick before we get into this video, I really want to mention that everything I'm saying is just me saying it. This isn't me. This is based off of information I would receive from my doctors and seminars. I am not a doctor or a medical professional. So if you are at all considering weight loss surgery, please speak to your physician first. Do not go off of this video and specifically assume that everything I'm saying is 100% factual. I mean, I believe it's pretty much factual. You know what I'm saying? Like, talk to your doctor first before making decisions. Don't go based off of me specifically, but these are things that I experienced and realized through my personal experience and feedback. Okay, so like I said, I'm not a doctor. Talk to a doctor. Okay, all right. Hi guys, welcome back. It is me, Drew, and today's video is actually a video that I'm really excited to make. It's a video that I've wanted to make for a really long time. And today's video is basically what I feel are like the 5 things that you need to know before considering having a weight loss surgery. So if you don't know me or know who I am, I'm Drew. I had a sleeve gastrectomy, which is a form of weight loss surgery, done back in October 4th, 2016. But what some of you, and a lot of you are aware of who I am already. And real quick, if you're not in the Just Like Drew crew, real quick, click that red subscribe button and join our forever family, because you're literally the best crew because anybody never been in our crew. This video might be a little bit long. I really want to give out a lot of information. I've been thinking about doing this for a while. And so real quick, who is this video for? I mean, anyone who's kind of interested in weight loss surgery can check it out. I also made this because I have so many people who constantly are like, oh, hey, you know, I have a friend who's considering, you know, what do you say? And I love answering those questions, but I don't always have the time to sit down, you know, with every single person and give them like the true feedback I want. And I want to make sure that everybody has the same solid information because like I feel like this stuff is so important. There's so much that I had no idea when I first considered weight loss surgery that I just feel like there's things that everyone kind of needs to know. So I mean, if you have a family member or friend who's considering weight loss surgery, share this video with them. You know, if you're considering it, watch this video. You know, share this with your family. I mean, this is a way also to help others support you if you're going through this as well, so they know this is not just like some easy thing. If you don't know, I considered like weight loss surgery. So when I first started the consideration, it was actually at the end of June, beginning of July of 2015. And as you can see, I didn't even have surgery until October 4th. So basically I had my first consult in the beginning of July, and I went to like a seminar about the actual weight loss surgery that gives you like all the information, kind of like what this video is essentially, but it was a seminar. And after that, I was really overwhelmed because there's a lot of things that I was like, I had no idea that was like something you had to consider with having weight loss surgery. You know, I left and I was really kind of discouraged because I left realizing that this was not going to be like some easy thing. And not that I thought that like having weight loss surgery was gonna make it so easy, but I definitely didn't realize there would be so much work involved in order to have weight loss surgery and be successful as well as staying healthy. So that's kind of why I'm making this, because like I said, there's a lot of things that after having surgery, if you don't do things this way, like now everyone's body is different. Some people may be able to come out and be like, hey, I do that and I have no problem whatsoever. But these are things that basically they said like you could either get really sick or could basically like kind of like defeat the purpose of having surgery, those kind of things right there. So I have a little list here. I'm just putting it close to me. So you may see me looking down from time to time. But there's 5 things that I thought everyone should know. So the first thing that I feel like you need to consider when you're having weight loss surgery is that meals need to take about 20 minutes when you eat them. So you might be thinking, okay, that's weird. Like, this is like a legit thing. So, first of all, the study behind the whole thing is all meals for any person, whether having surgery or not, should take about 20 minutes to eat. And the reason why is because it takes 20 minutes for your stomach to start realizing that it is full. So that's why a lot of us tend to overeat, is because we eat really fast within 5 to 10 minutes. We're still hungry, so we eat really more. And that's when like after about 20-30 minutes hit, you're like, oh my God, my stomach, ugh. But here's the thing, once you've had weight loss surgery and your stomach is smaller, if you overeat, you could like end up in the hospital or worse, or you could actually like kind of like stretch out the stomach. And now granted, it takes a while, but over time you could slowly keep stretching your stomach more and more. And then basically it's like you did nothing and you went through all of this for nothing. So the reality is that like after you have surgery, you have to make eating a priority. And like I said, your meals have to take about 20 minutes every single time. Honestly, sometimes my meals take me 20 minutes to an hour to eat because I eat slowly. And also because like sometimes my stomach, like, it just takes a really long time to like make space for more food. So it's kind of like a tricky thing. Like you don't want to eat too much, but also you kind of want to make sure you don't eat too little. And it's something you're going to learn, you know, if you end up having a procedure done, you learn with your own stomach. But for me personally, sometimes my stomach, like I could eat like a tiny bit of food and my stomach's like, oh, you're full. And I'm like, okay, I know I'm not full. And if in like an hour, I'm going to be really hungry. But also at the same time, if I eat too quickly, I'll feel like I could start feeling sick because I ate too fast. And so it's something that I really had to be careful of. And so it gets really difficult because you really have to make eating a priority, which I know sounds weird because you're like, the whole point of this is to not really eat as much. But because like I got so out of the practice of like, you know, eating a lot of food, I actually have to make sure I eat enough to stay healthy. I know it's like kind of like this whole weird vicious cycle. So that's number one. Okay, so number two, this is one that I feel like is a really big deterrent for a lot of people, and it's something you really honestly have to think about. You cannot really drink carbonated beverages at all after having surgery. So first off, carbonated beverages, the reason you really shouldn't drink them ever in the first place, carbonated beverages cause your stomach when you drink them to expand. And so then bloat you to be able to eat more food. But after surgery, it can actually make your stomach hurt extremely, extremely bad. Or like, depending on the type of procedure you have, it could kind of make things like inflate in a bad way and like really hurt your stomach. And like you could end up like, again, possibly like in the hospital. So carbonated beverages have to be something you can live without. And I'm not just talking about soda. I mean like sparkling water, sparkling champagne, anything. You can't have that because your stomach can't really tolerate that anymore. So that was one thing that I was like, dude, like was really hard for me to think about giving up. Now I don't really miss it. But the other thing I will tell you is that your stomach gets really, really sensitive. So some of you know before surgery, I actually made a lot of these changes in the 6 months leading up to surgery. I worked really hard so that like when I actually had surgery, I wouldn't feel like I had such a drastic change. And I gave up carbonated beverages like way, way before having surgery. And I remember one night I had the calories to like get some drink at Taco Bell. I was like, I just want something that's a little bit sweet. So I got some kind of like freezy drink or whatever. I didn't realize that when it said like it was made with Orange Crush, that they legitimately mixed it with soda. I know it sounds stupid, but for some reason I thought it would have like the orange flavoring. I didn't realize that it would be fizzy because it was icy. Do you know what I'm saying? I wasn't really thinking it through, and I had like 2 sips of it, and my stomach ended up hurting for like an entire week. Like I got so bloated and my stomach killed me for a week, and that was before having surgery. So I don't even want to think about what would happen now if I like drank like 2 big gulps of something carbonated. And so like I said, you can't drink that because it can expand your stomach, and then what was the point of having surgery? And so another thing also with that, with soda, is you also more than likely will no longer be able to consume alcoholic beverages. Now, everyone's different. Some people may still be able to. I'm not saying that's across the board. Me personally, I cannot consume them anymore. This is something they actually tell you in the seminar. Now, thankfully, I was never much of a drinker in the first place. It's nothing to do with like religious background or anything. I'm just not a person. I've never really enjoyed the flavor of alcohol. But funny enough, on New Year's Eve this past year, I was with some friends and I was like, you know what? I'm gonna have something to drink tonight. I'm gonna try it. I haven't had anything to drink for a while. So I literally had a sip of my friend's drink, an actual, just a sip. That was it. And I just kind of was like, you know what? I don't really like it. I immediately felt like I was gonna throw up. I felt it was me really, really sick. And that in like within hours, like that night, I ended up waking up in the middle of the night with extreme heartburn. I had burned my esophagus. I'm not kidding you. Like literally like ripped the lining of my esophagus. All this from having a sip of alcohol. So that's another thing. Your body is really, really sensitive to things like that after having surgery. Also, some of it is like with your body being smaller, your body might not just be able to hold your liquor, you know, which sounds kind of funny, but that's just kind of a reality of it as well. So like I said, alcohol and soda, like those are things that you are gonna have to like kind of get rid of. So carbonated beverages, I should say, in general. So the third thing that was kind of a big shocker for me as well, was really, really like, ugh, you have to change the way that you eat and drink at the same time. So basically, you can't eat and drink at the same time anymore. So essentially, how they explain it is you have to drink and eat 30 minutes apart. So let's say you're like, all right, I'm gonna be sitting down Thanksgiving dinner. and I'm gonna have some wine. Nope, you are gonna have that wine. Well, first off, you're not gonna have wine because you can't drink. But my point is, you literally can't have anything to drink for 30 minutes, like within 30 minutes. So basically, I'm somebody who likes really spicy food. Like I use a lot of like Tabasco and spicy on my food, and I had to train my body to like eat hot sauce and all the things without a drink. It was not easy, I won't lie to you, but I did it. And so that's literally something. So like if you eat your meal, you have to wait 30 minutes for drinking something. Now they'll tell you, like my nutritionist would say, like, you know, if you want to keep a tiny cup of water just in case like something feels like it's kind of stuck, you know, you have a little sip of it. But there's a couple reasons why you're not supposed to do this. So first off, the one for everybody in general, the reason why you're not supposed to eat and drink at the same time. When you drink liquids with your food, you're actually liquefying your food and making it run through your body faster, thus making you hungry sooner and not letting the food stick in your system, and then you eat more. So that's kind of something that anyone can follow the general rule of. The other side of it though is when you've had a weight loss surgery procedure, because they change the entire way that your body like works, and sometimes they change the way everything digests in general. When you drink and eat at the same time, you could end up with like serious stomach pain or things that kind of get lodged in icky places. So you can't do that after having surgery. I've actually, once in a while, I've done it, and I literally will have like this like feeling like right here because I had something to drink with just like a tiny bit to eat. It really is very, very uncomfortable and like not something you really want to do. So that's another thing you need to consider before having surgery. So number 4, this one was like actually also really difficult for me. I mean, they're all kind of difficult. You have to take a lot of vitamins. So, and they can be a little bit expensive. So depending on the procedure you have, they're going to prescribe to, like, they're going to tell you you have to take certain vitamins every day in order to stay healthy. Because the fact that like your body like doesn't absorb as much, you know, nutrients from the food and all of that, depending on the procedure you have to take a lot of vitamins. There's these liquid vitamins I have to take, which cost about $10 to $15 like every like 10 to 14 days. So it can be pricey, as well as you actually have to stick with it and take it. So before all of this major lifestyle changes, I was a very, very like lazy and very, very much, I don't even know how to say it, just like I was not a routine person whatsoever. So the fact that I've stuck with all of this is just like amazing, because like I don't know who this person is, but I mean I like her, she's cool. But seriously, like I'm a person where I was like, oh my god, I can't take like vitamins every single day. Like, you have to, and there's some you have to take 2 times a day. So like, and if you don't, your like bones could become extremely weak and you could have serious issues. You could have vitamin deficiencies. You could have like all kinds of other issues that come from that because you did not take the proper vitamins. And the other thing I want to mention with that is you also have to consider now that when you swallow foods and things like vitamins or medicines, that so with most of the procedures, like every single one, they take your the tube, I don't really know for sure what it's called, so I'm not going to say anything wrong, but they take the tube that you swallow things through and they tighten it and make it much, much smaller. So where you may have had, let's say like this much space, it's now like this much space to fit through. So you can't swallow any medications over the size of like an M&M. And the other thing is your body absorbs things differently. So for instance, like I have vitamins, one that I have to take where I leave it under my tongue. I have ones that I have to chew, like an actual chewable Flintstones vitamin. It can't be a gummy vitamin. Also, I have ones that I have to drink, like specifically drink them. It's all, like I said, and there's some that I can swallow, but they can only be tablets, they can't be gel because of the way that your body absorbs things. So you really have to live a very, very like regimented life forever. So if you're somebody who's really bad with like routine and all that, that's something to consider also, and things to prepare yourself for as well. And another thing, so the 5th thing that you really need to consider is that your body may reject a lot of foods after surgery. So after having surgery, it's kind of like a hit or miss situation, but there's a lot of foods that you'll eat them, and even if they're foods that are like not bad for you, your body may just decide to just reject them. And so some people are like, oh, throwing up. Not always throwing up, it can also be from like other places, which is called dumping syndrome. And you know, that's something that does happen, and you could eat something and be totally fine. Like, you know, there was times where I would eat something one day and my body is totally like, we got this, we love it. I eat the same food the next day and my body's like, this was a really bad idea and we're going to opt out. So that's a thing that you really have to consider also, is that like you may be frequenting the bathroom, as well as like your body may not like a lot of the foods that you used to eat. which then means that you have to realize like whether you want to or not, may not have a choice to give up a lot of the foods that you used to eat and enjoy. So I know that was a lot of information. I tried to speak kind of quickly, but I also really wanted to get this video out. I have so many people who are constantly messaging me, you know, I'm considering surgery. What information do you have for me? What do I do? And you know, the biggest thing I tell people, you know, when they're like, I want to lose weight or I'm considering surgery, how do I start? So I always tell people, like, start with one thing. Make one change. So what I did when I left my seminar and I was really, really overwhelmed and I didn't know if I was going to get surgery yet. And I actually was kind of like, you know, I think I should maybe try to see if I can lose weight one more time before really considering surgery. I wasn't successful, but I did want to at least try. And what I started doing is the first thing I did is I worked on eating meals in 20 minutes. So obviously my portions were bigger than my portions are now, but I, you know, was like, okay, I'm going to take one portion of food and I'm going to make it last me 20 minutes. And that was really, really hard to do. So one of the things that I actually do to make my meals last 20 minutes is I would sit down, you know, and like I would do something along with it, you know, like work on something, read a magazine, do something else to keep me distracted if I'm eating alone, you know, so that I don't overeat and eat too quickly. But that's the main thing I would tell you. If you're considering weight loss surgery, first really think about, can you do these things? Because it's one thing to think like, oh yeah, I got this, I can do those things, that's not a big deal. And then these are just like 5 of the like many changes that you'll have to make in your life with having weight loss surgery. But really consider, can you do this for the rest of your life? Because that's honestly why I waited so long to officially join the program, because like I said, I went to the seminar at the end of July 2015. I did not go to my actual or I think it was actually August 2015, sorry. And I did not actually start the program until the end of March 2016 because I wanted to be sure that I could make these changes forever. And now granted, I realized, I said, you know, these changes are difficult and it's gonna be a weird lifestyle after this. And you know, I had to tell my friends, yeah, I can't do this. No, I can't have that. And thankfully, I have amazing supportive friends. We go out to eat and they're like, no, she doesn't need a drink. Or they'll be like, you know, I'll take your water for you. And like, basically like they, you know, respect the changes that I made. They don't like make fun of me. They don't make me feel awkward, but also they, you know, help kind of take care of me and look out for me in these situations. And that's an important thing too. And why I'm saying like, you know, if you're considering surgery or having surgery, maybe share this video with your friends and family. So that way they can also realize the changes that you have to make. And the other reason I want to make this is because so many people think that surgery is a cop-out. And yes, it really does help you eat less. It does help with that. Absolutely. If not, why would you get the surgery? There'd be no point. There'd be no reason to even have success with it. But it really is only a tool. If you start putting in bad habits after surgery and you don't really make changes over time, now it may take some time, but over time, you can basically make your stomach revert back and kind of like blow the whole thing. And the whole point of this is to be healthy and happy forever, you know? And so you do still need to do things like going to the gym. You know, you do need to eat right. You do have to make good choices. And this is a forever thing. And the main thing I will tell you, the biggest thing you have to consider with having any kind of weight loss surgery or even going on a weight loss journey, period, is that all it ever comes down to is your mind. Because if your mind is not ready to lose weight, and your mind is not ready to make the right changes forever and to put you first before the food, and you're not ready to break up with food, which means like no longer being in that controlling food relationship where like something happens and you gotta eat something, something happens, you know, you turn to food. You are not ready for this journey. And I'm just saying that, I don't say it to discourage you, I'm saying it to help you, because the one thing I don't want to see is someone rushing to get surgery and then have a lot of negative side effects happen because they weren't ready. I want you to do it because you're ready and you know, your mind is right and you're able to do this the healthy way. And like I said, I made these changes 6 months before. So a lot of people, you know, they see and they're like, oh, you've been so successful. And let me tell you, it's not an easy road. I just worked really hard before so that when I had surgery, it would not be as difficult once I had it. So I hope that makes sense to you. Like, so honestly, I always recommend, like, however long your pre-surgery like program is, start making the changes now because it will really benefit you in the future. Okay, so this video is getting a bit long, but like I said, I really wanted to make sure that I got this information out to you. I'm trying to think really quick if there's anything else I wanted to mention or say. But like I said, it's just a tool. It's not gonna make the official final change for you. Like, the real change comes from in here. And like, if you don't know, I lost 121 pounds before one surgical instrument touched my body because I made these changes ahead of time. You may say, why'd you go through a surgery? Because I know that I don't have self-control when it comes to food. And I still have days where I struggle, and there are still days, like I had a day recently, something happened, I was really upset. My kids were eating popcorn, I dug my hand in the bag of popcorn, I took a handful of popcorn, I started shoving it in my mouth. I literally looked down, I was like, what are you doing? I literally was like, you broke up with food. And I threw the popcorn, like I was outside, I threw the popcorn on the ground. I'm sorry if you don't like that, but I mean, it's food, you know, animals can probably eat it. I hope it's not anything unhealthy, but like basically like, I still have those moments where I had to check myself because I think to myself like, oh my God, I just want to turn to something to eat. I want to celebrate with food right now. And that's not healthy. And I still struggle with that. Even after losing 236 pounds, I still struggle with that all the time. And there are times where I have to say, you didn't come this far, girlfriend, to go back. So that's kind of all I have for you. Like I said, I hope this is helpful to you. Like I said, I hope this is something that you feel like you can maybe share with your friends and family. And I'm usually not big on the whole like, share this video. But I am saying it only because, like I said, I have so many people who constantly are like, I'm considering surgery. Can you help me out? Can you this and that? And I really, like I said, I wish I had all the time in the world to like be able to sit down with every person, but like I am busy, and I actually really want you all to have this information because I feel like it is so absolutely important. And I really want like everyone who's considering surgery to be truly successful, because like if you are, like sky's the limit, and it's a beautiful life, and it's a hard life, absolutely, but it's beautiful at the same time. So that's all I have for you guys today. But if you want to see more photos of me, you can check me on Instagram, Snapchat, and on Twitter at Justlikedrew, spelled the same way it is down below. If you want to be a part of the Just Like Drew crew and you're not already, make sure you click that red subscribe button down below and join our forever family, because you're literally the best crew around, because anybody and everybody can be in our crew. I love you guys so stinking much. And if you like this video and you want to see more from me, you know what to do. Just like Drew, have an amazing day, have an amazing week, have an amazing life, and I'll talk to you so stinking soon. Love you. Bye. Goodbye. Goodbye. Oh my God. This is amazing. This is like amazing. Like this is honestly like so awesome. And like I love it when you guys like, I mean, you guys send me stuff, I love it. Like I got a Wonder Woman